Restaurant Interactive Hotline. He is a fantasy expert analyst for CBS. He is Dave Richard. Dave, thank you for being on the show.
What's up, Eric? What's up, Bubba? Good to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Now, before we get into some of the good stuff and asking you about some sleepers and busts and whatnot, I'd like to just quickly talk about the CBS Fantasy Football product. Now, Bub, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we've used CBS now for, this is our 6th year, I believe?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6, yeah.
Excellent. And we feel it's definitely the best product, out there. I know that last year it won Best League Commissioner Product by the Fantasy Sports Trade Association for the 10th time. Dave, what do you think it is about the CBS Fantasy product which just makes it so appealing?
Well, I think reliability is first and foremost. I can't remember the last time our leagues were down and people weren't able to set their rosters. I think ease is also important. Fantasy owners can easily navigate through our website and find where to set their lineups, where to draft. And you get what you pay for. And a lot of places out there have free leagues and they don't work or it's too confusing and setting your lineup. It shouldn't be that hard. So we just make it all easy and give everybody in the league a place to congregate on Sundays, chat with each other, trash talk each other. It's a lot of fun and there's a lot more coming down the pike. So whether you're a diehard fantasy gamer or somebody that is into more of the short-term fantasy leagues, CBSSports.com is here for you.
Excellent. I definitely agree with that. And some of CBS's enhancements here for the 2013 season includes a redesigned league homepage, a new mobile app, and new analysis that CBS automatically provides in which each Tuesday users will receive custom analysis of your league.
Yeah, it's all true. I'm especially proud of the mobile app, done in-house, newly designed for 2013. I use it all the time. I'm planning on using it to set lineups this year. You can get all the news and analysis that I give, that Jamie Eisenberg gives, that Nathan Zagura gives, and it's all starting to really come together as we keep moving forward here. So I think the app is a must download for everybody, and you don't necessarily have to play in the CBSSports.com league to use the app. So if you do play on another website, that's cool. You can still download the app and get the news fastest from CBSSports.com.
Now, Dave, quick question. If you already have the app, forgive me for maybe this is a obvious answer, but if you already have the app, does it automatically update itself, or do you need to kind of re-download the new app?
Just to be on the safe side, I would re-download the new app. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then as far as the redesigned league homepage is concerned, it seems pretty user-friendly and whatnot. Forgive me for saying this, but maybe I'm just a nature of habit. I personally kind of prefer the old version just because it's a little bit more customizable. But the good thing that CBS does is that they make it possible that if you do prefer kind of the older version, you can still use that. So I know it's probably, preferred by CBS to use the new one, but again, a kind of kudos to CBS for still making the old one still available.
Yeah, I thought that was important for us to do. And the other thing that's cool about it is I think people would get used to the new look rather quickly. We rolled it out for baseball, and the initial reaction was, I like the old way a lot better. People don't like change. People resist change. And I just feel like that if you stick with the new look of the site for a week, I think you'll appreciate it more. And after a week or two, you really don't like it, go back to the old way. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Excellent.
It's all the same.
Great. Now, I know Bubba has a few fantasy questions here for you. Bubba, fire away.
All right, Dave. Before I get into these, I just want to say I really enjoy reading all your columns. In a time, in the middle of summer where there's not really much going on, you seem to pump out these columns pretty much daily, so I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Bubba, the check's in the mail. Thanks for the compliment.
Now, my first question, Dave, is last year, Aaron Rodgers was pretty much a first-round pick, sometimes, like a top 6 or 7. Drew Brees was maybe the end of the round, second-round pick. In your rankings this year, you have your first quarterback is Brees at 26 and Rodgers at 27. Is there a specific reason why these quarterbacks aren't ranked as high as they were last year?
Yeah, a combination of supply and demand at running back and supply and demand at quarterback. I think that's the best way to put it. Last year, if you remember, if you weren't picking within the first 3 picks overall in a draft, you might have had a little trepidation with the running back that you were taking in round 1, round 2, and so forth. This year, I think everybody feels really good about getting a running back in round 1. There's so many good ones to go around, so much potential for guys who maybe we were a little nervous about last year, like Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, and other guys that have really stepped up over the last year. The 2 rookies, Doug Trent Richardson, last year they were rookies, now they're not. Everybody has high expectations for them. Alfred Morris, another rookie from last year, who broke out pretty well, I'd say, and now here he is as a first-round pick. I think it's safe to say that there are enough running backs to go around that fantasy owners can feel good about taking one in round 1. And I feel like there's going to be a consensus there, so not many owners are going to look for a quarterback. And with that being the case, I think the quarterbacks get pushed down a little bit. And there are so many good quarterbacks. If you look at the quarterback rankings, It's hard to find one that you look at and you go, I don't know if I want this guy on my team, period. Maybe you say that about Russell Wilson. Maybe you get a little queasy about RG3 coming back from the knee injury. Maybe you feel that way about Colin Kaepernick. But you shouldn't. These guys are all really good players. They're going to be productive. And because there's so many of them, you can literally wait until you're up and around later in the draft. You can't believe the quarterback that's on the board. We've done more than 2 mock drafts where I've gotten a quarterback at around. I can't believe I get him in. I got Peyton Manning in round 5 in a draft. He's my 3rd-ranked quarterback. So they're falling. And if you're in a league where somebody takes Aaron Rodgers in round 1, Drew Brees in round 1, I wouldn't panic. I would just stick it out and wait till you get Matthew Stafford in round 5, or maybe even round 6, Tony Romo in round 6, Kaepernick in round 7. I think those are all very safe places to get a quarterback, and then you build the rest of your roster with your earlier picks.
Yeah, this is the first year in the last few that I can remember that there are probably 12 quarterbacks that I can look at and say I wouldn't really mind having them on my team. Dave, give me one guy that's going in maybe rounds 3 to 5 that you absolutely love this year.
A guy that's going in round you want one? I mean, that's hard.
Give me a couple. Give me a couple.
All right. I'll start at running back. I think Le'Veon Bell is a guy I'm kind of looking for in round 3 now. There's going to be, the run of quarterback in round 1 is going to leave the positions thin pretty early. And by the time you get to round 5, round 6, and this is just foreshadowing, I think that you're gonna feel sick if you're taking a running back to start or play your flex in your fantasy league. And Le'Veon Bell is just one of these guys. I know he's got a knee tweak right now, but he should be in a position to rack up the work in Pittsburgh. Offensive line isn't bad. He's a good running back. He's powerful. I'd like to think that he's durable. He's just not fast. And so as long as he gets that volume, as long as he gets 15-plus touches, I think fantasy owners are going to be really happy with what they get in him. And I see him going in round 3 now, and I'm fine with that. I think that that's a good value for him. There aren't a lot of other running backs I really love in that range. I don't mind settling for Sproles, for Monte Ball, for Giovanni Bernard. But really, a lot of the other running backs that are on the board, if Chris Ivory gets healthy, I think I'd probably take him in round 5. But I'm a little nervous about him, and that's why I think it's important to get your running backs a little earlier on. Now, it's a different story at wide receiver. They slip a little bit, too, once you get past maybe the first 6 names on my rank list. And I think it's a consensus top 6 with Calvin, Dez, A.J., Brandon Marshall, Julio Jones, Demaryius Thomas. You're going to see guys like Larry Fitzgerald, Vincent Jackson, Randall Cobb, Victor Cruz, Marcus Colson. Those are guys that are going to go in rounds 3, 4, maybe even 5, who I think fantasy owners are really going to enjoy taking there because they're very productive and it's coming at a pretty good value. Pierre Garçon, round 5. I like him a lot there. I think he's going to have a really good year. His season's tied to his feet. As long as he stays healthy, he should be fine. So far in training camp, there's been no issue. I think Garçon's a good name to target in round 5 to be your number 2 receiver.
All right, Dave. How about a guy going a deep sleeper here, maybe rounds 10 or later, that could potentially win you your fantasy championship?
Well, last year I touted Alfred Morris as being that guy, so now the pressure's on to do it again. And the first name that I've got is Tyler Eifert of Cincinnati. I talked with offensive coordinator Jay Gruden. He seems really excited about Eifert's progress and thinks that Eifert can really step up. and be a difference maker in Cincinnati. I would agree after watching him play at Notre Dame.